I love the start of Oscar season, but the one thing I always hate is a lot of these movies were shown at festivals early this year, and they have already great word of mouth. Especially this movie. This movie's already got Oscar nominations before I've even seen the movie, and so I walk in with all of this buzz, but I didn't love the director's previous film, and I walk out of this movie saying, I'm that guy. Anora stars Mikey Madison and is about a young sex worker from Brooklyn meets and impulsively marries the son of oligarch. Once the news reaches Russia, her fairy tale is threatened as his parents are sent out to New York to get the marriage annulled. From writer and director Sean Baker, we are talking his brand new film, Anora. So like I said in my opening, this film has already gotten critical praise from everyone on Twitter. I have not seen a video review. I always follow that rule before seeing the movie, but I do see social media reactions. I see people just talking about this movie because this movie's won many awards already at film festivals, and obviously everyone's talking about Mikey Madison's performance. The thing is, the movie's directed by Sean Baker. I like the Florida Project. This is a good movie. It's really well written, and it's a movie that I would like to revisit actually. Red Rocket. This movie is also critically acclaimed, but the thing is, I found it very overrated and I didn't love it. So before walking in this movie, like I said, it's got all the buzz. I myself was like, I don't know if I'm gonna love this movie. I'm hoping to. I always want to go into a movie loving it, and everyone's talking about how good it is, and I like Mikey Madison from Scream and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so I'm all excited to see this movie. So me and my great friend Win saw this movie last night, and I'm that guy because I didn't love this movie like all of you. I will say it is better than Red Rocket in my opinion. So of course, let's begin with the positives, and of course, Mikey Madison. She has now made a name of herself with this movie as it's seen with all the critical acclaim, and I can tell you, she is going to be nominated for Best Actress. Will she win it? I have no idea who's going to be competing with her, but right now, she is deadlocked to be nominated. I guarantee it. She gives an excellent performance. She physically gives everything to this movie. She had to learn a Brooklyn accent. She had to learn how to be a stripper and how to basically dance like a stripper, act like a stripper, and she gave it her whole body in this movie. Without going in detail, there's a lot of nudity in this movie, and Mikey Madison doesn't hold anything back, and that's really brave of her. Like, people don't understand, nudity is something that's not easy to do when you're filming on a set with 40 people at least probably who are staring at you. And so there's a lot of in this movie, and her performance and her character development is the reason to see this movie. She is clearly like an outstanding actress. She deserves an Oscar nomination. Again, I don't know if she's going to win it, but it seems like the critical praise is her right now, and I see why. She is excellent in the movie. She's a reason to see this movie. Everyone in this movie is actually very good. The guy who plays that she falls in love with, this Russian guy, I want to strangle him. He is such a fucking brat, but that's who he's supposed to be playing, so that's kudos on the actor because he makes me want to squeeze his neck. Even though they have a cute relationship in the first 40 minutes, once shit hit the fan, I was like, dude, this guy is piece of shit. And Anora herself, Annie, as she's called in the whole movie, I won't even say she's a great person in this movie, and we'll get more into the characters soon. But like I said, everyone's very good in this movie. The cinematography is actually gorgeous. The night shoots in these scenes, like the nightclub stuff, it's just the sound mixing and the design of it mixed in with outside noises, and it's just it feels so grungy, and the cinematography is just so good. And I saw that Sean Baker actually edited this movie. He did a really good job. That's not an easy job. I'm literally editing my short film right now, and it's probably 30 minutes long. This is a 2-hour movie, so I can't even imagine, but I bet it helps when he's directing the movie because he's the editor, so it's easy for him to really block this movie, and it really worked. There's a lot of good stuff in this movie, a lot of good shooting of the camera moving, at being still at points. At the very end of the movie, there's a one take that is a little awkward for me and my friend that we said we agree with each other. But when you look at like the filmmaking aspect, it's really nicely done. And again, I walk away from this movie really appreciating just the actors and the direction and like the actual story itself. That's where I kind of differ. I've seen a lot of people, or again, reactions talk about like the story is so inventive. It's like a Cinderella fairy tale, except told in like a dirtier, grungier, pretty woman style. Like that's the words I've seen on Twitter be talked about in this movie. I really found the first 40 minutes to be very much just like, all right, we're following characters, this Russian guy and her, characters I just didn't really care for. And I know what you're thinking. Anora, the main character, her performance is really good, but her character is just really a stripper, and there's no like emotional pull for her. Yes, she lives with her sister in a house that's not very great in Brooklyn, and she's a stripper, and she doesn't seem very happy, but there's no like emotional hook about her character when she meets him, and she's like, ooh, he's got a ton of money. I want to keep having sex with him. And then they kind of fall in love and they get married, and then finally the movie kicks in with a funny like 10-minute scene where these guys enter the home and have to tie her up, and the boyfriend Yvonne is like running out the door. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie. It was so funny, it was so hectic, and it really worked. After that scene, from that point to the end, it felt like we were just wandering around. Literally, the movie then turns into a, hey, he's in the city somewhere, let's go find him. That's the rest of the movie, and I just didn't find that interesting, honestly. I was just like, he's a piece of shit. He's not answering his phone. He's running away. Like, I understand for the plot of the movie, they need him because the parents are coming and they're pissed off. But, like, I never felt, like, intensity. Like, I don't know if they were going for that, but, like, I never felt like, oh, they gotta get him. They gotta find him before these parents show up. But, like, the whole time, I just kind of bored. And there's a few funny moments. Like, one moment where a person pukes, and it's pretty funny with people's reaction. But, like, that just it is a comedy. Like it is. It's a comedy drama. But the funniest part was the one scene where they break into the house. They don't really break into the house, where they enter the house and they tie her up. That's the funniest scene to me. But everything else just felt kind of like they were just wandering around. And then when it leads to the ending, it just ends. And there's like a little meaning and there's a little chemistry between two characters at the very end that I want to spoil, that I did find cute. And I actually found a really cool relationship between them than Anora and her husband. And to me, that just felt wrong. Like the whole movie, you're supposed to like pulling for her and how she's trying to like find her husband and she doesn't want to get a divorce. But the thing is, I hate the Russian guy. I hate all these characters. Anora is giving a good performance, or Mikey Madison is, but her actual character, she just feels like a person that's just leeching off of him because he's so rich. Like that's what she like notices about him, and she's like bragging to all her stripper friends like, oh, I'm gonna get my 4-carat diamond, I'm rich, I'm quitting, I'm rich now. And to me personally, I just didn't like that character. I don't like people like that in real life. I don't like someone that's just there for money. I like a person with more depth and character and who's funny and interesting, I like talking to. This character in real life, I'd be like, I don't want to talk to you. There's nothing in this movie that made me pull for her. And I found that as a big issue the whole time because, again, the movie then continues on as this cat and mouse game, and I was never into the movie. And I don't know. I walk away saying, really good performance from her, really well made, and a good enough story that, like, when it's interesting, it's actually funny, but then it just ends, and I walk away kind of just like, okay, that's it. Like, that was it. And I get, like, the overall message, what they're trying to do in the end. I just say I don't think it hit me as much as others. And again, I think the pacing doesn't help this movie because at some point, this movie's for sure 30 minutes too long. There was one point I was like, all right, this is like the final like setting. Like this is it. And there's like another 25 minutes. And I was like, are we getting to the end at some point? Like it definitely drags on. So again, I think it's a fine movie. I don't think it's great. I do think Mikey Madison should be nominated. I do think there should be good praises toward the performances and the direction, the cinematography. Sean Baker is a good director. But that's 2 movies in a row where I'm just like, maybe his style of just storytelling is not my cup of tea. I'm going to give Anora a C+. Now, again, if you're watching this video and you want to go see this movie, go and see it because, again, a lot of people love this movie right now. A lot of people loved Red Rocket, so it might just be me. I just might not be into the Sean Baker filmography. But again, I really like the Florida Project. That was a good movie. But again, I think this one to me is better than Red Rocket, but I walk away saying it's really good acting, but I'm definitely never gonna watch it again for sure. And you guys enjoy this movie review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye everybody.